So to get started in Autodesk Inventor, what we're going to do is go over to New. We want to make sure the metric folder is selected. Once that's selected, we can go over to the Part section here, okay, and click on Standard Millimeter. Okay, once that loads up, we can have a look and see what we can do next. So on the side here, we have a browser bar. Okay, that's basically like your history. So anything that you do on this program with your model, that will be here in a minute, it will appear on the side here. Okay. Underneath you have all your different parts that you can open up. So you can have multiple parts open. Okay, it doesn't need to be just one. Alright, at the top you have all your different tools that you can use. Alright, so to start off with, we're just going to go to Start 2D Sketch. And here are the different work planes that we can work from. Okay, so at the moment, what we want to use is just the XY plane. So we'll click on this one. And then we're going to start off with a rectangle tool. So I'm going to get you to click on that one, come to the middle, and see how it snaps on. Okay, I'll do that again. Alright, snaps on and turns green. Alright, that's what we want. So we're going to click once with our mouse and drag it this way. Alright, as you can see, as I'm moving this square, okay, you can see that the dimensions start to change. Okay, so I can just type straight into that. So I'm going to write 20 from my keyboard, and I'm going to hit the tab key. So I'm going to click on the tab, do the same thing on this side. Enter. Alright, so we've got a square there. Okay, but as you can see, it's out the screen at the moment, so I can't really see the whole entire square. So what we need to do for that is, first of all, I'm going to hit the escape key to remove this tool. Okay, so you can see that's been removed now. Alright, and then over here we've got a navigation bar. Okay, so this one here is the box that we can use to navigate around the 3D model. Alright, or if we just click on front, that will drag our sketch straight back into our screen so we can see that. Alright, the next thing we want to do is obviously make this into a 3D model. Okay, we've already put the dimensions on it, so it knows how big it needs to be. Okay, but we want to make sure that this becomes now 3-dimensional. So the next thing we're going to do is go to Finish Sketch because we're done. And we're going to go over here to Extrude. Okay, so click on that one. As you can see, it gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. Alright, I want to make this a cube, so I'm going to change this one to 20 millimeters. And then going to press the tick here, or press enter. Okay. So I want you guys to play around with the little navigation bar over here. Okay, obviously you can turn the block around, you can look at a different face. Okay, roll the box over. Okay, so you can play with those, and the rest of this navigation bar over here, I like to use this one here, the free orbit. So if you click on that one, inside the circle, if you click and hold, you can rotate your model around. If you click and hold out here, it will just rotate it around that way. Okay, so depending what angle you want to get your model at, okay, you've got those options. Okay, this one here, okay, the pan, basically just allows you to move your model wherever you want it. Okay, so those might come in handy at some stage. So as you can see on my cursor, at the moment I've got a the pan tool. So to get rid of that, I'm just going to click Escape on my keyboard, and that tool's gone. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is go to Start 2D Sketch again. I'm going to select one of these faces here. It doesn't matter which one. So I'm going to click this one. And I'm going to click here as well. Okay. So now I'm going to draw a shape on here to then extrude or cut later on. Okay, so let's start off with maybe a circle. And roughly in the middle of this square, I'm going to click once, drag my mouse out a little bit. Okay, and once again, we can type straight into that. So I'm going to make this one 10 millimeters. Okay, and that's the diameter of that circle, as you can see with the arrow. Okay, so one thing that you can notice here is that the circle is green, which means if I grab the circle, I can move it wherever I want. Okay, we don't want that. We want to be locked into one particular place. Sorry. So we're going to go to the dimension tool up here. And I'm going to click on the left side of the box. And I'm going to click in the middle of the circle. I'm going to drag it up here and then click again. So that was 3 clicks all up. I'm going to change this dimension to 10 and press enter. Now I'm going to select the bottom to the middle. I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to change this one to 10. Alright, as you can see now, the circle has changed color to like a purpley bluey sort of color. Okay, so now it means that the shape is completely locked into that one position. Okay, and there's no other dimensions that we can possibly put onto that shape. Alright, so once we're done with a sketch, basically we just need to go to finish sketch then. And same process as before, we're going to go over to extrude. Going to click on the circle that we just made. Alright, then we can start to preview what the circle is going to look like. Alright, so what we could do is we could even grab that arrow there and drag it back and forward. You could even change it to a cut to see what that looks like. Okay, so what we want to do with this one here is we can make this one cut in, alright, maybe a couple millimeters. So I'm just going to drag this back out here like it would be on your screen. Alright, and now to make it a cut without dragging the arrow, we're just going to go to here where it says join and change that to cut. And then we need to change the direction. Okay, so at the moment the arrow is pointing to the left. We want to go in the other direction. Okay, so at the moment that's what it looks like. Alright, so I don't want it to go that far. I want to change it to 2 millimeters. Okay, so at the moment it's only just going into the cube. Alright, press the tick or press the enter button on your screen, on your keyboard, sorry. And that's what it should look like for now. Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do now is choose another surface to work on. So I'm going to go to Start 2D Sketch again. And I'm going to click up here. And press right, and that's going to bring me straight to the middle. Alright, so this one here we can do another shape. Alright, we can click on the rectangle tool. Alright, roughly here I'm just going to click. I'm going to drag it out to here. Okay, I just want you to get close to the shape that you need. Alright, doesn't have to be perfect with the dimensions at the moment. Okay, we can change that now. I'm going to go to dimensions again. I'm going to click on the left side and then the left side of the inner square as well. I'm going to change this one to 2 millimeters and do the same all the way around. So from there to there, make that 2. From there to there, make that 2. Alright, and the last one. Right, once that's done, I'm going to go to finish sketch again. I'm going to go extrude. Alright, so it's waiting for me to select the shape that I want. As you can see here, the outer shape highlights. So I could do that if I wanted to, or if I move my cursor in, it's going to select the inner square. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to do the inner square. So I'm going to click on that one. Alright, so I want this one to extrude out of the cube by 4 millimeters. I'm going to press OK. Alright, so that's what your cube should look like at the moment. Alright, we're going to start another sketch on this side. Alright, now what I want you to do is to experiment using the line tool. Alright, so I don't care how your triangle looks. We're not going to put dimensions onto this one. I just want you to draw a triangle on this surface here, and then we're going to extrude it after. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to click once, drag my mouse, click again, drag my mouse to another point, click it again, and then I'm going to bring it all the way back to the top of that line there. Okay, so it should snap on green again. Okay, as you can see on my cursor, I'm going to click. Alright, and that should be one complete shape. Alright, so like I said, that triangle can look completely up to you. It doesn't matter how it looks. We're not going to put dimensions on this one. Alright, once we're done with that, we can go to Finish Sketch. And then we're going to go to Extrude again. Alright, this one here, we're going to practice doing another cut. So I'm going to change this to cut. Okay, and the direction automatically changed for me for this one, so we're going to leave that as it is. Okay, if not, you're just going to have to change the direction. Okay, so let's change this one to 3 millimeters. Press OK. Alright, so we've got those shapes at the moment. So I'm going to swing this box around. And now I'm going to start a 2D sketch on this surface. I'm going to click here. For this one here, we're going to try something different. We're going to use the text. I'm just going to drag a box over the top of that shape there. Alright, so at the moment, we've got a box just appeared, and we're going to just change some of the settings that are in here. So obviously in this part here is what you want to type. So I'm just going to write my initials. Alright, if I highlight over this, I can then start to change the font, for example. Okay, and I can start changing the sizing and everything else. Alright, so for this one here, I could even change it up to maybe 5 millimeters. Alright, I just press enter. Alright, so now we've got everything that I need on my surface here. Okay, so at the moment I've still got the text icon up, alright, on my cursor, so I'm going to press the escape key to remove that. Okay, so now that's gone, I can start to drag this wherever I need it to be. Okay, so if you need to rotate this for whatever reason, at the moment it's not facing the right way, we can go to the rotate tool here. Alright, we're going to select the text that we need. And then you're going to click on this arrow here for the center point. And I'm just going to select roughly in the middle. And now you can see that I can rotate my model, my text around, sorry. Alright, so I'm just going to click it there. And then press done. Alright, so just click and hold, drag it to wherever you want it to be. I'm just going to roughly put mine in the middle for now. I'm going to press Finish Sketch. I'm just going to angle my cube over so we can see once we start our extrusion. We're going to click Extrude now. I'm going to select the letters. Alright, so once again we can extrude this or we can cut it in. Alright, so for this I'm going to do another cut. And I'm going to change this one to 2 millimeters. And press OK. Alright, so there we got my initials in the side of this cube. Alright, we've got a triangle on this side, and we've got a circle on that side. Alright, what I want you to do for this surface here is to start a 2D sketch. Okay, and I want you to play around with these shape tools here. Okay, if you click on the arrows underneath, you can start to use other tools as well. Okay, so there's arcs and all sorts of stuff. Okay, slots that you could do as well. I want you to play around with some of these. Okay, once you've drawn your shape and put dimensions on it, I want you to go to Finish Sketch. Okay, and then extrude it out of this cube. Okay, so there's one surface there for you to play with, and also underneath. Okay, so I want you to experiment with those two sides there, all by yourself using your own tools. Alright, once you've gone through and you've done those, alright, the last bit that I want you to have a look at is putting fillets onto your cube. Alright, so if we click on this, I'm going to select the edges that I want to fill it over. Okay, so I'm just going to use this little bit at the top here for an example. So I'm going to click here, 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 and here. Okay, and you can see that those have got fillets on them now. So they're no longer sharp, they've rounded over. Alright, so we can change the radius for this as well. So for example, we can change this to 1. And you can see that fillet then gets smaller. So we're going to press OK. And that's done. Alright, one other tool I can show you now as well is the Shampo Tool. Just going to click on that one. And we can go around and start selecting the other edges of this cube. Alright, so there's an error at the moment, so I'm going to change this to 1. Alright, so there shouldn't be a problem anymore. What you can do then is rotate your cube around, so you can start selecting the other faces that you can't see. With other edges, sorry, I should say. Okay, so I reckon I might have got all those. I'm just going to use the free orbit tool and just rotate the model around just to double check to make sure they're all selected. Yep. Okay, so if I'm happy with that, I'm going to right click, go OK, just get rid of the free orbit tool. And now I'm going to click OK here. Alright, so everyone should look like this in the class. Alright, with your design here that you can extrude and also underneath the cube as well. Okay, but everything else should look pretty much the same. And that's a little intro into Inventor.